Hello, and welcome back to part 2 of my nonsensical rambling segment, Rambling On. Here I talk about issues that I think are very detrimental to our society in ways we don't realize, and are things that we don't really think about. They're not really talked about often. Today, I'm going to talk about something that you may not know of. When I say you may not know of, I mean this is something that actually a lot of people probably do know of. What do music, modern music, what do modern music, fast food restaurants, and don't really remember. Okay, what do fast food restaurants design? What is common between modern music and the architecture of fast food restaurants? Well, I'm going to tell you. This is another very big problem I think with today's society. It's risk. No one wants to take any risks anymore, especially after the 2008 money thing, the recession. What do car colors, the architecture of fast food restaurants, and modern music have in common? They don't take risks. So, it's a very big problem, I think, in today's society, is if you listen to all the music, doesn't it all kind of sound the same? By the same, I mean bad. It just sucks. It's not good. It's nothing new. If you go back to any decade previously, there's a lot of variation in what modern music sounds like. Even in the 2010s with the Alt Nation, which is on Sirius XM, it was little plug there. In Sirius XM, there was modern music sounded bad, but even then there was still stuff that was interesting. There was uniqueness to it. And then starting in around 2014, 2015, even that went. Everything started to sound the same. It was that very pop music-y, and pop is supposed to mean popular, but it's not popular. And it all started to sound the same. Restaurants. They used to look really interesting. Each one had its own little style, it had its own fun features to it, and, it was something you could see and be like, oh, it's that. Oh, it's that. That's a Wendy's, that's a McDonald's. Literally every building nowadays looks the exact same, and it's just bad. Car colors. Cars all are either white, gray, or black. Oh, or silver. Or cream, tan. It's what I like to call the coffee and rocks look. Because you get coffee or rocks. That's what it looks like. The thing is, a lot of companies don't really put quality into their things anymore. They know you're going to buy it, so they can make it as crappy as they want, because it's not like they're going to be like, oh, this is crap, I guess I'm not going to buy it. No, you're going to buy it. You don't care. So why should they care? And that's a really big shift in society that I think is for the worse. People don't want to fork over money, a little more money, just to make things a little better. They'd rather pay a very small amount for something that breaks down every 5 years, and they're happy to sell it to you, because it's easier for them to make more money. I mean, it's just bad. So, music industry. Correct me if I'm wrong with this, but back in the 50s, music industries would take risks on up-and-coming bands. Like, if they saw something, they would invest a little money in it. I think this is how it worked. correct me if I'm wrong, I'm probably really wrong here, but they give little money to people, and whoever wasn't good, they wouldn't continue funding them. Whoever was good, they'd give them record contracts. Nowadays, it's... What's it? Risk. Going back to Risk. Now it's the people that made it big about 5 or 10 years ago, and nothing really new has happened since, except Billie Eilish, which is why so many people like her. I think it's a new voice. But if you listen to all the pop groups and rap groups, it's very, very similar, and it's not... all the lyrics are very corporately made. They're not really... There's no real thought behind it. There's no real meaning behind the words they say. It's just... It's words they had to... Like, the absolute exclamation at the end of this is Justin Bieber's Baby. It's literally just, what, Baby 100,000 times? And that was really the signaling of what was to come. A lot of music is just, it just sounds the same, because no one's willing to risk to make anything new, because they're afraid they'll lose money. Everything comes back to money. People want to lose, corporations with billions and billions of dollars to spend don't want to lose their precious money. Oh, I lose, what, $100,000 of my $100 billion corporation? Oh, I'm so sorry. And what you're left with is a very bland scale thing where everything is created sole purpose to make more money, and there's no real venturing off into deeper waters to see what kind of fun you can dredge up. Car colors. Risk. After the 2008 recession, people didn't want to have really interesting car colors because it hurt the resale value. And as a result, people weren't thinking of what their car would look like when they have it. They're thinking what it's going to look like when they resell it. And it's that kind of fear and lack of wanting to have a risk which has led to the really disgusting, sad look of our roads today. There's no real interest to it. Like any other decade, even the 90s, and I don't like the 90s, but cars had a lot of colors then. Now, it's like they don't even offer colors, because people don't want to buy colors. Because it's sad. You may like a colored car, but you won't get it because in the future, someone else might not buy it. So you forfeit having your enjoyment of the car because you're forever worried about what it's going to look like. The only thing more boring than baseball is Micro League Baseball. Fast food industries. People don't want to have risks on their fun buildings anymore. It's people see interesting and fun ideas as kitschy. That's so childlike. It's not avant-garde. It's not new. And the sad thing is, new means boring. It means, because everything's been so interesting for so long, to go against the norm is literally to be the worst building ever. It's not interesting. This better be recording. Okay, it is. Holy crap, 8 minutes? Also, Rambling On has no cuts. This is more of a video diary that I can look back in 30 years. To which I'll probably be more bitter and senile than I am now. It's just sad that no one puts risk into anything. For instance, have you noticed that there's really been no interesting movies lately? There's been nothing new. Especially from the big corporate chains. Disney, for example, here's another, comes back to risk. Disney hasn't had a new movie in how many years now? It's literally just been live action remakes of what they think is safe. What they know will make money. They're not gonna put money into an IP that may not make money. They're gonna do what will make money, which is something that has been done before and we've all seen before, and we're gonna watch it regardless, so why should they care? People need to stop watching these things and keep giving fuel to this fire that is just this monotonous, because it's not. Cartoon Network, a show that a lot of people like me watch. Have you noticed that there really hasn't been any new shows? And when there are new shows, they're just rebadges of old shows? the only new IPs that have been there recently have been what? Ben 10, which was in the 90s, and Total Drama something or which is a rebrand of something that was also in the 90s. Cricket Creek is cool. That was neat. I'm rambling again, but really, no one wants to put money into something that may make a lot of money and may make the world more interesting, because it may do that. It's possible. But it's just, these companies have so much money and so much influence, and we are literally just dealing with it. We don't care anymore. We think that this is modern. This is what it should look like. But it shouldn't look like this. They've made it. They've said this is what it should look like, but it shouldn't. It is. It's sad. It's sad that the world looks like this. It's just makes me mad. It's just, no one takes risks. So, I guess my final statement is that people need to take more risks, because if you don't take risks, then nothing new can happen. Literally, if people didn't take risks in the past, nothing new would have happened. Everything that's cool about today's society is because someone at some point said, I'm not going to go with the norms, I'm going to do something else. We wouldn't have animated movies if someone said, I don't want to take a risk and make an animated movie. We wouldn't have cars if someone said, I don't want to take a risk, I'm just going to keep going with horse-drawn carriages. We wouldn't have a light bulb and said, you know what, I don't think light bulbs are going to sell, I'm just going to stick with my candles because I know they work. It's sad. And that's my takeaway with this one. That people need to take more risks. This is Aiden with your local thing of Ramblin', your monthly series of what I don't like about the world. How do I stop this?